welcome back to my channel. So we're going to talk about Scout Motors today, and personally I think Scout Motors is a defining test for all EVs in America especially. Scout Motors isn't even here yet really, and I don't think we're supposed to get any of their cars until maybe 2028, but the fate of them, whatever it may be, will tell us everything about where EVs stand in America and the future of them. Now what I think is great about Scout is that it's like a fusion of all the great things I love about cars in general. It's a fusion of car culture, storytelling, design, and innovation all in one package. And it also manages to be an EV while still being something for truck people and the people that are very, rugged, if you will. Scout Motors caters not only to the people it needs to, EV people, but to the people you wouldn't expect it to. People who aren't necessarily completely sure that they're ready to make the full switch. Now, why I say that is because they are offered as E-Revs. If you don't know what an E-Rev is, basically all of Scout's vehicles will be offered with, of course it's an EV, but it'll have a gas engine that they call a harvester that will be able to add range to the battery and charge the battery while you drive, enabling the car thing to go. It would allow you to add over 350 miles of range to your drive. So like I said, for people who aren't really sure and are having that battery anxiety, then this is a great option because it really does add on that level of efficiency that is unseen in EVs that big and that off-road and performance oriented. And this is interesting because it comes at a time when we're going through not only the transition from gas to EV, but we're also going through a period where people are realizing that maybe it's not time yet to move to EVs. With all of the government things going on that has made it harder for EVs to come here to the United States and to be successful in the United States, Toyota and BMW are looking at other options. They're looking at things like renewable gasoline and other things like that to be a companion to EVs and to work with it side by side. So I think that Scout places themselves in a really good position because while these other brands scramble to figure out a way to make gas and EV work side by side, and they're already kind of prepared for a future that will likely be EV and gasoline options working hand in hand instead of against each other. So I guess the future isn't just all EV. Also, maybe in our rush for a sustainable future, we've forgotten that there are other options. Now let's talk about design when it comes to Scout Motors. That is my favorite thing about Scout Motors. And with honestly a lot of these startup EV brands, they really care about design, and not only design but purpose within design. And it's just amazing to see them outdo all of these mainstream brands. And brands like Rivian and Scout really let the design breathe and then fuse them with the function so perfectly. They have a lot of cool storage solutions and innovative features, and I just love seeing the essence of what design is actually about make it through on these vehicles all the way to production. For these brands to be so new, they really make the mainstream brands look amateur. It's crazy. And another thing that really pokes out to me about Scout Motors is the storytelling. I think that the storytelling and making the audience and the buyers believe something is way more incredibly important than people like to let on, or that we like to acknowledge. Rivian and Scout especially have implemented car culture and storytelling into their brands so well. Scout Motors has that history in the US, and they have that buyer base that used to buy their vehicles way back when, and knowing that, they've linked them to this new Scout so well as linking their brand with off-road culture and just overall truck and off-road history. They truly created a story and ultimately have created a community, maintained a community around Scout. And that's where they get their buyers from. I love this because I feel like it's more than what mainstream brands do, which is just kind of try and sell you a vehicle at all costs, make you believe whatever you need to sell a vehicle, even if it's not true. Whereas the brand identity and the emphasis on a real story is so important for these brands, for these startup brands. And I know it's because they have to, because they need to sell their cars. But at the same time, it doesn't make it any less impactful to see a legacy be paid so much homage to. It just feels like Scout really cares about their legacy. Now, here's where the illusion kind of breaks, because ultimately we still have to face the reality of EVs in America right now, and they are, because they're having, I've read a few headlines of them having factory issues and other things go on, and Lucid is in trouble with laying off people, and Rivian is just, it's always a lot going on with EVs. And especially right now, EVs are experiencing such a hard time in America, and a huge decline in interest because of the benefits being gone. Also, people just love their gas cars. People are used to this. People are used to the infrastructure that we've had for all this time, and are not ready. You know, they're seeing the rocky terrain ahead of them, and they're not necessarily ready to jump right into it. So they go get a hybrid, or they go get a plug-in hybrid, or they get a gas car. And the people that are left that are willing to go into EVs with more options showing up are just split amongst all of those options. And it leaves all of these EV options scrambling for sales. Starting up an EV brand was already hard. It's one of the hardest things to do ever, undoubtedly, but it could not be harder right now. So what does this mean for Scout? This brand and their vehicles represent a moment for the US to kind of make a decision, which will give us the answer to the harrowing question: are people really ready to move to EVs? If a brand offering gasoline supplemented options and that is basically doing everything, and I mean everything, right, cannot survive, then every single other EV brand being planned right now needs to take several seats, because they won't survive. Scout has the formula to be so successful, but the answer is, are the people ready? But anyways guys, that'll do it for me. Please let me know what you think of all this, and let me know what you thought of the video, and leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.